Chelsea put stadium plans on hold. Does that mean we might spend more money on transfers? Or could it even mean that Roman Abramovich might sell the club because of political issues? An update on the Courtois contract situation, Morata and Batshuayi out, but Lewandowski, Higuain or Icardi in. And the manager situation, Sarri, Blanc, Conte or even Zidane. Hello there guys and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for another episode of the Transfer Show. And yes, I'm back. We've all had our breaks. Obviously, Louis came back yesterday. We're all back. It's good to be back. Before getting into it, let me ask you to subscribe to 100% Chelsea if you haven't already. And also, let's see whether we can hit 500 likes on this video. That will be absolutely amazing. But now getting into it, but not really starting off with actually Chelsea-related, information, because Frank Lampard has been announced as the new Derby County manager in the Championship, if I'm not mistaken. I basically just want to say congratulations and good luck to him. I hope he does well. And I hope one day he can become the new Chelsea manager. So yeah, like I said, good luck to Frank. But now getting into Chelsea news. But the first bit of Chelsea news isn't actually about transfers or a manager, but it could hardly affect our dealings with both of those things. It came out earlier that Chelsea has put its new stadium project on hold, and they said no further pre-construction design and planning work will occur. The club does not have a time frame set for reconsideration of its decision, but the decision was made due to the current unfavourable investment climate. They didn't say anything further than that, and now there's really two ways to look at this, a very good way and a rather very bad way. Either it means that we're now focusing on improving the squad and signing players now because we've realised that if we don't spend money and don't invest, we can't keep up with the likes of Man City. Maybe that will change now, and that would mean no excuses now not to spend any money on players. At the same time though, Chelsea has always kind of separated those kind of financial outgoings, transfers and, stadium stuff. That's always been kind of two different things within the club. But no one can tell me that an investment of over £1 billion, whether that's just with Roman Abramovich's money or with loans included, doesn't affect the money spent on transfers at least a bit. No one can tell me that. Or the other way to look at the whole situation, and that wouldn't be good, is that with all the political issues Roman Abramovich has had recently, not getting a visa to enter the UK and now taking the Israeli citizenship a few days ago, which means he can enter the UK because Israelis are allowed to enter the UK as much as they wish really for 6-month periods, but he still hasn't been granted a work visa, to work, as far as I know anyway. And with all of those things happening, Roman also apparently moving his money out of England, him possibly selling the club, or at least not willing to spend hundreds of millions on a stadium in a country that won't even let him work there, could be a scenario that just could be the case. Some people see that as the most likely thing to happen. I myself am not too sure about it. When I first heard the news, I can't lie, I was absolutely buzzing. In my head, the first thought was, right, we can spend money on players now, because that was always their excuse. Now we have to look to the stadium, it's so expensive, we can't spend that much on players. And now that is obviously gone. And the rumours of signing massive players, could be true. The likes of Lewandowski and, these massive players that we've been linked with. I mean, we're always linked with them, but maybe with that, I thought maybe it could actually happen. Obviously just hyping myself up really. But there are people that see it in a negative way and that think Roman Abramovich could actually sell Chelsea, or at least almost separate him from the club, a lot more than he has done recently and in the, over the years basically. I'm not sure. I mean, make of it what you will, but I truly hope it will end up being a good thing for the time being, and the stadium will come in a few years' time. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm not sure what to make of it. It's, like I said, I just hope it's going to be a good thing rather than a very bad thing, which it also could be. But now coming to actual transfer news. This morning news came out by Di Marzio that contract negotiations between Chelsea and Thibaut Courtois broke down, and we now want to sell him and get Alisson from Roma as his replacement. Alisson, who's also Liverpool's #1 target as far as I'm aware, and even small rumours came out that Courtois might be going to Liverpool now, which is not happening because, Courtois wants to go to Madrid, where his family is, if anything. He's not going to Liverpool. I don't think that is going to be the case. Not long after all of that story broke though, another news publication negated the story by saying nothing broke down, as there was no negotiating going on in the first place, as Courtois is with the national team, obviously ahead of the World Cup, and Chelsea's in lockdown mode to secure a new manager anyway, so there's no negotiation going on anyway. I myself find the second story to make more sense, more believable. The club has been dealing with the manager, sorry, to be exact. Courtois is with the national team, the World Cup is coming up, but again, make of it what you will. I said it before, if Courtois does refuse to sign a new deal, we better sell him this summer rather than letting him leave on a free in a year's time, because we need to make money on him, because he's a, very expensive player. He's a young player, he's a very good player, so you can make a lot of money with him in today's market. So, we have to. We can't just let him go for a free next season. Even if he didn't cost us anything or barely anything back when we signed him, you still can't let a player like that go for free financially. That would just be utterly stupid. Coming to the next story, and Louis touched on it yesterday already, but Lewandowski's agent, Robert Lewandowski's agent, Pini Zahavi, basically made it official that the Polish striker wants to leave Bayern Munich and that he wants a new challenge. Yes, Lewandowski is 29, turning 30 soon, but he is a world-class striker, one of the top 3 or 4 best strikers in the world in my opinion. And we've signed younger players for a few years now, and we never really knew how that was going to work out and how good they were going to be. Best examples for that being Bakayoko, Morata, Batshuayi, and so many others as well. And in the situation we're in right now, we could really do with, a top class striker, so not a striker that could be top class in 2 or 3 years' time. And at 29, fair enough, turning 30 soon, especially with Lewandowski's game not being all about pace, you can still get 3 to 4 top class years out of him in my opinion. I have to be honest, in my head, it wouldn't make sense for him to join us when we're not even in the Champions League, and that was kind of the main thing that he's been annoyed about, that he's not made the Champions League final with Bayern yet and hasn't won the Champions League with them yet. So for him to join us when we're not even in the Champions League doesn't really make sense. But how many top clubs that can afford him and can increase his wages actually need a striker? And there's not many. There's only really Real Madrid, where Benzema goes from top class to god awful a lot. And then there's us. Everyone else has a very good striker. PSG, Barcelona, Man United, Man City, Liverpool, Spurs, all of those teams. They have very good strikers. And what other top club, financially top clubs are there out there really? And not too long ago either, his wife, Lewandowski's wife, hinted that she had an attractive job offer from London, which could also be a massive factor in Lewandowski's decision of where he might go. Obviously, we are linked to a lot of huge players every summer. And also we are linked with other strikers like Gonzalo Higuain from Juventus, who will turn 31 at the end of the year, and who certainly doesn't have the body of a top class athlete if we're going to be completely honest. And I myself, I don't want Higuain. I don't think he has the shape to play in the Premier League. Physically, I think basically take him a year to get into a good shape to actually compete in the Premier League. I might be a bit harsh here, but I'm not a fan of Higuain. I don't think he is someone that we should go for. But also, we've been linked to Mauro Icardi from Inter, who has an extremely expensive buyout clause of almost 100 million, and also Inter just managed to qualify for the Champions League on the last day of the Serie A, and they've not been in the Champions League for a while as well. So would Mauro Icardi actually want to leave Inter, where he is the captain and got them to the Champions League with 29 league goals, and leave that to play in the Europa League with Chelsea? I'm not so sure about that. All of this striker talk is going on because the rumours that Alvaro Morata might want to and will return to the Serie A, to either Juventus or one of the Milan clubs, most likely, are getting quite strong. And also the rumours that Michy Batshuayi will leave Chelsea and join Dortmund permanently aren't going away either. So, that's the reason why there's been a lot of, striker rumours. Like I said, I would love Lewandowski. If we can figure that out, that would be amazing. He's, like I said, one of the 3 or 4 best strikers in the world in my opinion. I still don't see it as a very likely scenario to happen, but if it does, amazing. And now quickly touching on the manager, again, while Louis has already touched on it yesterday, Sarri still seems the most likely candidate, in my opinion. His €8 million buyout clause expires today. As far as I know, though, we don't have to pay today, we just have to inform Napoli that we're going to pay it, and then pay by June the 10th. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Whether we are willing to, pay the €8 million buyout clause or not, I don't know either. Apparently, we offered them €4 million, basically as a goodwill offer, if you will, because, they've already appointed Ancelotti, now they just have 2 managers on the books, which Napoli can't really afford. So now we're just looking, kind of trying to get him for cheaper. You could obviously argue, we're just penny pinching over 4 or 2 million, just give them the money and get a new manager and get onto signing players. But, it's Marina Granovskaya at the end of the day, and she'll always, spend the least amount of money possible. But another thing I've heard is that Sarri could terminate his own contract by paying 1.2 million himself. Similar to how PSG got Neymar out of Barcelona. We could basically give Sarri that money and he gets himself out of Napoli. But that would, of course, destroy any prospect of signing any Napoli players in the near future, as their president, De Laurentiis, already is a pain in the bum to negotiate with, if we're being honest, and also likes to hold grudges and doesn't enjoy being played, and that kind of would be playing him, let's be honest. And I assume most of you have also heard about the stories that we might get Laurent Blanc in instead of Maurizio Sarri, but for me, that is just the way to get Sarri out of Napoli for cheap or even for free, because Napoli, who, like I said, have already appointed Ancelotti as their manager for next season, can't afford to have 2 managers on their wage books. And they just might be scared of, us getting Blanc, and then, they will be stuck with 2 managers, and then will therefore sack Sarri, so we get Sarri and they don't have to pay 2 managers' wages. Maybe, I think that's more likely than us actually getting Laurent Blanc. I could obviously be wrong. I'm not sure if I've mentioned it before on here. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll know about it. I would like Sarri. I think, people gone about this winning thing way too much. Zinedine Zidane didn't win a thing before he joined Madrid. Yes, he was a legend at Madrid and worked at the club, but still, he didn't even work as a manager before he joined them. Now he won 3 Champions Leagues in a row. Roberto Di Matteo won the Champions League with us. Didn't do anything before then. There's a lot of managers that, don't win things, and then they just do win things. Andre Villas-Boas did win a lot of things with Porto, and did absolutely jack shit with us. So clearly just winning things isn't automatically, a recipe for success wherever you go. It just isn't, let's be honest. And also for me, I think what he did with Empoli is quite impressive, and also what he did with Napoli. To finish second on 91 points is very harsh. In any other season, you win the league with 91 points. Like, that's just the case. The reason why he didn't win the league with Napoli this season is because Juve are just that much better. Juve are just amazing, and they also have a much, much better team. People always have a go at like, yeah, he doesn't rotate, and he doesn't use the youth. Well, Napoli's youth set to one team, I think it's the under-19s, won 8 games this season. I think the Chelsea under-19s haven't even lost 8 games in the last 3 years combined. Obviously, if your youth isn't that good, you can't really use them, because if they were better, they wouldn't lose as many games in youth level. So if a player doesn't even get winning and scoring a lot in youth level, how can you expect him to do well in first team football? That's very unlikely. And also the rotating bit. First of all, he did rotate in the Europa League against Leipzig, and it bit him in the arse because, they lost the first leg and couldn't turn it around in the second leg. And they got knocked out of the Europa League. I'm not sure whether it was the round of 16 or round of 32, but they got knocked out very early, much earlier than you would have expected them to anyway. And, kind of rotating really didn't work for him then because, the difference in squad is clearly huge for them. Their squad depth just isn't very good. People have a go, he doesn't rotate, he doesn't, he always makes the same subs. The players are tired at the end of the year. Yes, he did that, and obviously I can't guarantee that he won't do that at Chelsea. But with a better squad, with a better youth system, I can't guarantee that he won't do it. For example, Zielinski, who, basically became a starter, or at least a regular for Napoli this season. Sarri had at Empoli already, where he was a very, very young player. He made him into a starter there, and then brought him to Napoli, and also started playing him a lot there. He took over, at Empoli when Zielinski was like 19, I think. It was quite a while ago now. And he basically brought him from Empoli, made him a starter there, and brought him to Napoli, and made him one of the important players there as well. So you can't say he doesn't use at all. Of course, just one player isn't, the best sign to use youth. But if he just used Ruben Loftus-Cheek, that will be a start that we'd all love, I think. If otherwise he's stuck with most of the, the proper first team players that we have, but at least, properly played Ruben Loftus-Cheek week in, week out, I think we'd all be very happy with that. If, you give the likes of Sterling or Hudson-Odoi, those players a chance here and there, that's good. But if you put Ruben Loftus-Cheek in, that's more than all the other managers have done in the past, so I don't see it as a massive issue. I know I'm rambling on a bit about this now, but like I said, I would be in favour of getting Maurizio Sarri to Chelsea. Of course, also, Zidane has left Real Madrid in quite the shocking turn of events today, which obviously has brought people straight to believing that we're just going to sign Zidane now, and that the whole, signing Sarri was just a smokescreen for Zidane. To be honest, I tweeted that, but I tweeted it as a joke, and there's actually people that, believe it. But I don't see it happening at all. Like, I don't see it happening. I reckon Zidane will either take a break after saying being manager of Real Madrid takes a lot out of you, or maybe he'll take over the French national team after the World Cup. We'll have to wait and see, but I don't see it happening that he takes over at Chelsea. The only thing that does mean for sure is that the chances of Eden Hazard joining Madrid have decreased massively, because Hazard was a huge fan of Zidane, wanted to work under Zidane, and Zidane has always been a huge fan of Hazard. So with Zidane not being at Madrid, the chances of Hazard going there have definitely increased, which can only be a good thing for us. But it also does mean that Thibaut Courtois joining Madrid could be more likely to happen, as Zidane was a fan of Keylor Navas in goal, and whoever the new manager will be might see that differently and might want a different keeper to Navas and might want to bring in Thibaut Courtois. Either way, I'm almost certain that Conte will leave Chelsea and we will bring in someone else. In my opinion, it will still be Sarri, but we'll obviously have to wait and see what happens. I'm not going to say it's definitely Sarri. I just think that's what seems the most likely anyway. But yeah, that's really it from me. I think those are all the latest rumours. Leave me all of your thoughts on every story I've mentioned today. Like I said, help us get 500 likes on this video. We would massively appreciate it. Also, don't forget to check out my social media, which is Last1507 on both Instagram and Twitter. As you can see over here, I'd massively appreciate it if you could follow me over there as well. And also make sure you subscribe to 100% Chelsea if you're new, and click the notification bell button to keep up with all of our videos if you haven't already done that either. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Up to Chelsea. And I'll see you next time.